Hello, I'm Joanna, and I am the Interim Executive Director at the Divorce Recovery Center. Today, we're joined by Amay Kurtz, who is a licensed professional counselor practicing in Doylestown. We have a few questions for Amay about parental alienation, as she will be leading our parental alienation group. So let's get started. So, our first question is, what is parental alienation?
So parent alienation is when a situation when there's a divorce and one parent is refusing to cooperate or co-parent, and more so is actually working against the other parent in terms of turning the children against that parent in terms of their authority or how they view that parent. And so it makes it very difficult to work with that parent. It's really important to identify if this is happening, and it really can have a lot of emotional impact on the child.
Thank you so much. That's a very helpful explanation of what parental alienation is. So, how does parental alienation impact children?
Well, most often, children, especially through their earlier development into the teen years, they need the stability of the family system to feel secure in themselves. All along the way, they're building their sense of self. When that is fractured, it really affects emotional development. It really adds a monumental stress to the child. They become preoccupied with the parental conflict or the parental dynamic more than their own self and all of the tasks that they need to master to feel good about themselves. So when a parent is strategically, or even if they're not aware that they're doing it, which can also happen, alienating the other parent, undermining their authority, speaking negatively about them in the presence of the child or children, it keeps the child in this state of conflict. They feel like they have to choose a parent all the time. That becomes, a constant stressor and more important than the tasks of normal, healthy development. And there's different intensities of this. It can play out in many different ways. I've seen very extreme cases. I have had 5-year-old children say to me they feel like they're in a tug of war and they're being pulled in both directions. So we want to identify this when it's happening and have really effective strategies to minimize the impact on the children. So, it's a pretty serious situation.
Wonderful. That's very helpful. So, how would you say parental alienation impacts children?
Well, I think it's really important first to identify, where this is occurring, right? There's certain times where it might be more likely to occur, to make sure that the parent themselves is not reacting to the alienation strategies emotionally, right? So they're not participating in it, because that's really what the dynamic is about. It often is the other parent that's alienating is doing this based on the unresolved emotional baggage of the marriage or the relationship that has dissolved. So if the other parent is reacting to this all the time, they're also keeping the dynamic going. So there's a lot of strategies in place once you identify all the places that tend to be high conflict areas to maintain your stability, to not fight the battle, to be stable emotionally for the child and with the time you have. And even though the other parent may be talking negatively about you, you maintain the position of respect, and kindness, positive about the other parent. So it actually gives the child this message like there's no conflict there with you, so they don't have to feel that same stressor. That's and oftentimes parents learn that they might be doing this. They don't realize that they're doing this. They have to become more self-aware, that they are also either playing a part in the dynamic or reacting in a certain way. And you learn about it and then, and integrate these skills.
So we've talked about how parental alienation impacts children. What is it that a parent who is the one being alienated do about it?
The Parent Alienation Psychoeducation group that we are starting this January is designed to help parents that feel helpless in this situation to get a deeper understanding, to learn about it, to look for the high conflict areas, to process some strategies, to teach some practical, skills to manage this, to minimize the impact on your child.